got pinged 3 times, and I was in the end of last semester, and that's because I was pushing my friendship a bit. I got through a year and a half.
Parked in a classroom.
I started parking in the teacher spots.
Did you?
That's when they got me.
G'day and welcome to the MacPack podcast.
We're back.
My name's Jamie McKenna, and to my left, this week in order of the member of this panel most likely to be accidentally racist, it's my little brother Joe. How are you, boy?
Jake, that may technically be true because it's a 3-way tie with all of us on 0% chance of being accidentally racist.
And to my right, coming in 621, as he does each and every week, it's the baby brother of the pack who we call Ginger Boy. Ginger Boy, how are
Now
you?
that I think of it, I've actually never been racist before in my entire life, and I'd like to keep it that way.
Good man. Off the top, I've got a bit of a story about a bloke who he meant well, but he came across as being a little bit racy.
Oh no.
A little bit racy. We've also debuting. No, we're not. We're bringing it back. It's Riley's Roundup.
Uni's back and Uni's finished.
It's been so long, I thought we were debuting it, but it's back. It's back. We also have a story about a nude laundry incident, and we're awarding a Macca's Everyday Hero. It's a massive ep. So let's get into it. Boys,
Brother Bingo.
How are we all? Are we all well?
Freaking-tastic.
Pretty freaking good. How are you?
Good. Swell. A little bit partially second-hand offended.
Oh no.
This one happened a couple of weeks ago, so I'm slowly getting over it.
That's good to hear.
We were fortunate enough at the place that I am currently employed at. We're fortunate enough to have a. I always
Not working, currently employed.
Yeah, I'm there. No.
Monday to Friday, business hours.
We were fortunate enough to have a young man. No, he wasn't young. He's pretty close to death. Come in and give a CPR talk. What do you call? What do you call?
Is that just to like his insurance thing?
No, he was a third party chap. What do you call it? It's a fucking hot start.
First aid.
First aid. He was giving us a first aid course.
Yeah, but does he go around doing it in case he wants everyone to know in case he goes down?
He was an interesting character. Like, it's in these moments where I'm in these precarious situations where I do look around thinking, surely to God, there's a camera located somewhere and I'm being punked.
It's like the episode from The Office when they start singing "Staying Alive."
Yeah, it wasn't that far off. But the thing is, like, the situation. So in the office, the instructor isn't the weirdest person in the room.
No, it's Dwight.
Yeah. On this occasion, the weirdest person in the room
Was you?
by far the instructor.
Oh.
And like,
You know what he was talking about at least?
it was arguably the longest, most boring, fucking waste of time. Unfortunately, I don't remember any of it because it was so boring that I walked out and I was like, oh, thank God that's done, without really retaining any of the skills whatsoever, which defeats the purpose immensely, right? I'd prefer give us 2 hours.
Yeah.
I'll learn it. We'll have a bit of fun. That's it.
This could get played in court when Jake fails to use the Heimlich maneuver.
Well, even that, he was like, "Oh no, you don't do that anymore." I'm like, "What do you do?" He goes, "Oh, you got to do.
True, you don't do it.
You got to do this and you got to do that and you got to do this." I'm like, "Dude,
What's wrong with the lick?
I hope you choke on
Hey,
lunch,
you
and I'm gonna
changed
stand next to you and be like, "Oh, sorry, man, can't do it."
I'm using the Heimlich.
The first move is now apparently to encourage them to.
Yeah, that's what he was saying, and I'm like, "Yeah, because what do you reckon I'm gonna say?"
Yeah, come on, stop.
Like, what a stupid. That shouldn't be a step.
No.
Jesus.
You've already tried that.
That's like equivalent to someone having a heart attack and you walk around back. Well, have you tried stop having the heart attack? Try that for a bit, and then we'll see what else we can do.
Literally.
It's not a fucking thing. He was an interesting chap. And when you get these third-party type operators come strolling into your place, you often used to get them at school.
Yep.
Now that we've finished at school, we're getting them in the workplace environment. They're walking in as a lone external party.
Yeah.
They need a
Bit of a maverick.
Yeah, they need to build a rapport quick because they're outnumbered, right?
Yes, correct.
Now, there's a bit of chatter. Usually they come in, they don't necessarily do icebreakers, but they're just trying to have a quick yarn. The first thing that the bloke said to me, like, put me off immediately because apparently we needed to have like a contract sign or some shit. And he was like, "Man, where's your license?" I was like, "Fucking, I don't in my wallet." He's like, "Where's your wallet?" And I'm like, "I have no idea, but if you find it, let me know." Like, I don't know. He was just very odd. We got off on the wrong foot. I nearly hit him. Nah, not quite. But at one point, during this little rapport session, before we'd even started, he's like chatting away to a couple of people on one of the tables. And this lady, I couldn't even tell you where she's from, and that's sort of part of the story, right?
Yep.
Lovely lady. I don't see race or creed when it comes to these sorts of things.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Good man.
And this man obviously tried to build into that race and creed type.
Narrative.
Yeah, to build his rapport. So he's leant over and said to her from memory. Now, this is many weeks ago. He's leaned over to her and gone, "So, you're from Singapore, hey?"
Ooh.
And I wasn't in the conversation. I was meters away from the conversation, but the moment that matzo ball left his mouth, my ears pricked up and I went, well, this could go one of two ways, this. And she proceeded to say, I can't remember the logistics. Let's say it was Singapore.
Yep.
And she just went, no. And at that moment, I'm like, wow.
Is this guy white?
Yeah,
Yep.
fucking
Classic.
as wide as a white picket fence, this man. Like, he was almost fluorescent. He was that white. And so he's lobbed that one out there. It's arguably, if he hits, the reward...
Impressive.
Yeah, but the reward ain't that, because she just goes, oh, yeah.
It's real low rewards.
Yeah.
It's like throwing a Hail Mary, but at the but the Hail Mary is to still be down by 20 points.
Here
The
we go.
game's over. You're just throwing that for the sake of throwing it.
I've got a question for you boys. If you're intrigued to find out where someone's ethnicity is, how do you ask?
I don't. I just pretend.
But what if it comes up in convo?
Depends how it comes up. But I would
I
never.
think
I usually already know, and then I ask to clarify.
So what would you say?
So, for example, there's a guy at work,
Yes.
and I knew he was from India. I've been to India, so I wanted to talk about it.
Yeah.
How'd you know he was from
So
India?
how did yeah?
I think someone had mentioned it because
Okay. But how did you ask? How did you get the confirmation?
Even that. That's
What words come out of
That's
your
too
mouth?
much trust for me.
So this
to have.
guy's gone. You're Singaporean. What do you say?
I think I said, yeah, I just said, are you from India? I knew he was from India
Ooh.
anyway.
Okay.
But that's the same kind
That
of
is exactly
pose.
the same.
You've,
Yeah, but I was
you've
right.
put out. You've assumed.
Yeah, you've thrown out the question.
I think I've got the perfect way to ask. Where's your family from?
I
Because they're
reckon
not
that's.
meant to be from here.
I reckon,
No,
I
no,
reckon
no.
that's offensive. I
Just like-
wouldn't even say that.
No, like you're like you say, whereabouts is your family from? Like your extent, because you're not asking like you. Maybe it's not your immediate, but it's your deep family.
Even this conversation is making me nervous. This whole convo is making me nervous.
Where's
This
your
whole
family?
point was to highlight someone else being racist. I think we've spent a little bit of time flirting along the boundary over here. But essentially, he said that she's gone wrong, and I've gone, wow. Now, you've tried to build rapport. Now you're like so many steps behind the 8 ball. It's not funny. Good luck working back. And then he proceeded to basically just tell her, let's say, and this isn't true. Let's say, for example, she said, no, I'm from China, right?
Yeah.
He then tried to do some China like facts and anecdotes to build up he's still on the rapport train.
Yeah.
Because you can't be wrong, her correct you, and then just walk away.
You've got to salvage.
You got to do something.
He's grasping at straws.
And so it was like the most desperate plea I've ever seen. He might as well have been on his knees going, I'm so sorry, as he's trying to just claim a little bit. Because he knew he was no luck with me. Like, if he was coming over to chat to me, he was going to get... And the key was, and I know this for a fact, he wasn't from Australia. He was American, and he had the strongest American accent I've ever heard.
This is just, this explains a lot.
So, I don't know. There was a few things happening, and I'm just trying my hardest to be witness, just to fly on the wall in this operation. But it got pretty scary. This whole thing got
Where are you
pretty
from?
scary.
Canada?
Yeah, it was pretty gross.
That's at least the worst response he could have possibly had if he was like, are you from Singapore? And she's like, no. And then he's like, where are you from? And she's like, China. And he goes, oh, yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
No good. Stick away from it.
But it does make me wonder, like, when have you been in a situation where there's been a little bit of a tough social situation where you've tried to jump on the front foot and be over the top, bit advantageous, and next thing you notice, you're paddling, you're up shit creek, and you're so far behind the 8 ball, you're drowning. You're actually drowning.
Oof. I remember a time I was talking to this chick from work, and we are just talking about like family and stuff, and then she told me how like her family was suffering from like some serious like drug addiction and abuse.
Yeah.
And I'd never had anyone talk to me about that such dark theme before, especially when I've just met this young lady. And then you just hit them with the like, where do I go? What do I say? You can't be like, you get that on the big jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you can't. You've just kind of got to agree. Okay, alrighty.
Yeah, it is hard. I felt the best thing to say is like, oh, like I'm sorry to hear.
But then you don't want to pity. You can't pity. Because maybe they're not asking for an apology.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I don't know. It's a tricky one. I always do feel like, yeah, when people, you're just like having a conversation and when someone just drops something like,
Huge.
like,
bombshell.
you're like not expecting it. Like someone
You can't, yeah.
died or like,
Oh, I'm
something
bad
like
with
that.
death. I'm bad with death.
Yeah, well, I had that funeral one a couple of weeks ago, and we saw how I reacted. So I'm not saying I'm a great example. I've also had some big haymakers. Remember we were at that cinema complex?
yep,
You were there.
I was there.
That was a heaver.
Yeah. So 2 guys come in.
And this is again me being.
Oh no, I know it's gone.
This is me doing what this bloke did.
Yeah.
Trying to build a rapport, trying to be ladsy, trying to be helpful, trying to be. Yeah, it didn't go well. It didn't go well.
2 guys come in, a dad and a son.
Yeah.
Son's probably like 20-ish,
Okay.
like a teenager, like
Yeah.
pretty, like, you know, not super young. And anyway, they go to pay the tickets, and then I think so. Basically, if you have a companion card, which means, you know, if you need like a carer or something like that,
Yeah.
like if you have a
Usually, if you're disabled, you're
Yeah,
bringing
disabled.
someone along with you as a carer or a companion. Now I'm serving this bloke.
This carer / companion then gets the ticket for free.
Yeah, I'm serving this man who's there with his teenage son.
who, to be fair, is a little bit odd.
Yeah, well, that was the guy.
He
that
was
I
acting
getting.
a bit odd,
He was.
and you know, I don't think it's that far fetched to assume.
But just as a rule, don't assume.
Yeah, that's definitely something you want to be asked about.
Oh.
And then the dad goes to pay, and he's like, "Oh, that's so cheap." And then Jay was like, "Yeah, well, you're his companion." And because if you don't know what a companion card is,
Nah, I'm
If you
sure
don't have
90%
a
of you
disability and you've never been someone's carer,
you would never know.
it's new lingo
I had no
to be
idea.
finding out on the spot.
Yeah, I had no idea until I started working at the cinema that what this deal
Neither
was.
did I.
thank God you said companion
And
and not like carer.
That could have gone
Because,
so badly.
like, I guess even that he would probably be like, "Oh yeah, I'm his dad."
Yes, that was the vibe that he got. And that's when I did some of the quickest backpedaling I've ever done and handed these 2 lads the cheapest deal they'll ever get. Like to the point
Sent
where...
them on their way.
And then I got him to... We had to get him to sign sheets. Like when they were...
I 100% would be forging that.
This sign, yeah, you got to get 2 confirmation signs with names and signs.
Yeah.
But it
to
was
prove that
also
this was
like,
a
there's no
carer.
way even backing out of that. Some people lost their jobs
You
by
gave
doing...
him the pen and pad to sign it.
I think so.
No,
yeah.
I think
I think I did because I
not.
wasn't bowing out because you can't be like...
You need it.
that's for a membership.
You've got it forged there.
Well, I did it. I handed him the sheet, right? And I was like, "Oh yeah, and you just signed that." And he's like, "What for?" And I'm like, "Oh, because like you're his." I was still, I was stuck on it for so long. It hadn't dawned on me that he wasn't.
yeah.
The kid didn't have a disability at this point.
And-
It wasn't until the very end when he was so confused and he handed me the stuff back with this look like, "Why am I signing? I've never signed." He literally said to me, "I've never signed before." And it was at that moment the penny dropped, and I went.
Oh no.
And then I looked at the bloke, and the longer the interaction went, the less disabled he appeared, I guess. Like, and then I've just grabbed the stuff, put it back. I don't even know if he was still there.
Yeah,
I
'cause
think
I
he
was-
left out of pure
No,
embarrassment,
I was watching it, right, and because the
like a slow car crash
the
taking
son-
place.
he like he came in a fair bit. He was a bit of a regular, so I knew that he was a little bit strange. But as far as I could tell, he didn't have a companion card.
No.
So I was watching this whole thing, being like, "Oh, this is gold."
This is gold.
And I didn't have the heart to break it. Like, of course, once you're in that deep, you just got to keep swimming because you can't get out.
Like everyone's signs for their
Yeah,
tickets now.
it's a new thing we're doing.
We've got contractual
It's a new thing because there was at no point in time was I going to turn to him and be like, "Oh, sorry." Two things. Two things. Sorry. Firstly, I was wrong. I'm gonna need to make you pay. You're actually gonna have to pay for the second ticket. He's like, "Oh, right." And then me go, I made it. He goes, why is that? And I go, oh, sorry, I made a mistake. I thought your son had a disability. And you hit him with a double whammy. So now it's an extra $25 for the outing. Plus, I think your son's a little bit on the spectrum. Not really what you want. Not really what you want. No real winners. Alrighty, boys, it's been a hot minute since we've done one of these, but it is one of our favourite segments here on the MacPack podcast, along with all of the other segments that we do. But this one centers around Riley, providing a little bit of an update from university.
Of course, it's time for Riley's Roundup. University's best. He's the rootinest, tootinest, uni shooting in the wild, wild west. Boys, boys, boys. Uni, year 3, semester 1. Done.
Huge scenes. You've only got one semester to go.
Got through.
Am I right?
One semester to go.
That's terrifying. That has actually happened so quick.
One semester
You're graduating in 6 months.
Yeah, in February or March. I'll be graduating next year. If I pass everything.
That's massive.
Or
so we've been doing this.
If they let me graduate.
Bum, bum, bum.
Based upon this story.
Okay, right.
What are you going to say?
I was just going to say we've been doing this for ages. we started this podcast, not this episode, but the podcast itself, and you were not doing your waist at that time. Well, you were about to do your waist.
Yeah, my waist.
So you're every day you've been at uni, you've been a podcast boy.
Yeah. Wow.
There you go.
Makes you think.
And it's brought some gripping stories. We've had some. If you're just joining us and you haven't heard the story about Riley and the art teacher, I don't know what episode it was, but fucking start digging. That is an absolute heaver.
The good old days, eh? But now we've moved on. Moved on to a different jurisdiction. So, boys, you guys went to uni. Did you used to drive to Curtin University?
I did, yes.
I caught the bus, I would say, let's say I went 100 times, caught the bus 98 of them.
And I'm assuming that's to avoid parking.
Yeah.
Parking.
Well, we also lived so close to the place. It was easy.
Easy.
It took me less time to walk to the bus, get on the bus and get there than it would to park.
Oh,
But yeah, parking was a nightmare. Because we moved and then I had to start driving.
And expensive.
There was a period where when we moved house, what I used to do, this is a bit silly, I don't know if anyone we've ever mentioned this. We moved to Canning Vale. Curtin is in Bentley.
Yep.
And we used to live in Riverton.
Yes.
When we sold the house...
Riverton's closer to Bentley than Canning Vale.
Yeah, it's 10 minutes away max, right? When we sold the house, what I used to do was I'd drive my car from our new Canning Vale house to our old Riverton house. There was one time where I parked it in our garage. We didn't own the house anymore. I parked
in
the
carport?
Yeah,
Nice.
in the actual carport. And then the other time I parked it just like basically out the front, like the place where I used to park it on the grass. It's like I still fucking live there.
That's funny.
And then I would walk, get on the bus, and then walk back. It was an interesting time. But yeah, free parking's free parking.
See, that's the extent we'd go to for free parking, isn't that right, boys?
Yeah.
Well, look, in my first year, I was a rookie. I bought the parking pass, which is like $250, but you don't have to pay for parking for the whole year. So it roughly works out a tiny bit cheaper than paying a ticket each day.
And peace of mind, you don't have to think about it.
Peace of mind, yeah. Saves a bit of time as well. It's good. But into my second year, I was like, I think I'll avoid the parking thing. Because one of my friends had a good point. He was like, well, the tickets are only $30 each. So you need to accumulate. Go do the math. 250 divided by 3.
Just less than 10.
5.
Yeah.
Just less than 10.
Yeah, just less than 10, right? So I need to get fined just less than 10 times. Let's say.
Let's call it 8.
8 times. So I need to get fined 8 times, and then I'll be in the deep end of I'm paying more.
Yeah.
And I was like, I reckon I'll risk it.
On the 9th one, you're now paying more.
Yeah. But I've got 8 to buffer with
Yeah.
before I start to pay
Correct.
more, right? So I was like,
I like this risk taking.
But don't they check every day?
well, I found out no. No, the cheeky buggers do not. I've got pinged 3 times, and that was in the end of last semester. And that's because I was pushing my friendship a bit. I got through a year and a half.
parked in a classroom.
I started parking in the teacher spots.
Did you?
That's when they got
Did
me.
you actually?
Yeah, all the teachers all parked there, and I was like, I'll fang it in there. And then I got done 3 times within 2 weeks, and I was like, all right, I'll retreat. I'll retreat.
But surely
I'll
they're
go back
not
to my
going.
spot.
Well, they're then trying to charge the teachers for not paying for the parking.
I think they would be more like.
I think like you can park there, but it's like that's where the teachers park.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I obviously especially shouldn't be parking there because teachers are parking there. It's really close to the buildings. That's a high traffic area for the ticket checker, right? And I got done 3 times. So I was down $90, but I was like, I saved $160 of the year for parking, right?
Yeah.
Not too shabby. I wouldn't think, right? And then I'm like, oh, I'll take that. You know, we lost 3 times, but we won overall.
Yep.
And then I'm like, all right, next semester starts, which is the semester that just happened. And I'm like, I'm going to do it again. And I found a little back corner of the car park,
Yeah.
like really on South Street. Like it is far from everywhere. But luckily my building is the furthest to the right on campus that you can get before you hit the student dorm. So like I was just parking down there, and then it's like a 5-minute walk. No worries, brother. So I was parking down there in this corner, right? And it's absolutely deserted. No one parks there.
Yeah.
Like it is empty. So I told all my film mates, I was like, boys, don't pay. Just come park near me, right? And so it worked like the first 5 weeks. And then I'm walking out to my car at midday after my class one time, and the parking inspector, so it goes, my mate's car hasn't paid for parking.
Yeah.
Blank space, my mate's car.
Where are you?
Oh yeah, sorry. My mate's car, blank space, my car. Apologies.
Okay.
Yep. And then I'm walking to my car after class, and then I like see the parking inspector parked in between us,
Yeah.
like in his car, in the parking inspector car.
Like waiting.
And I was like, oh no, like he's literally writing our tickets as we speak. I walk over to the car, I see him sitting in there. I like just look at the dash of mine, like check under the windscreens, and I'm like, I'm in the clear. So I just got in and drove off. No worries, right? And I was like, cruisy. I just got away scot-free. I must have beaten him by 5 minutes, you know, just in the nick of time. Anyway, so I returned the next day to uni, park up in the same spot. And then,
Return to the scene of the crime.
yeah, return to the scene of the crime, fucking the same spot, blank space, my mate's park. Anyway, so I go to class, come out at the end of the day again. He's parked in the middle of us again. And then I walk over and I'm like, oh, he's surely got us this time.
He's
He's
just
come
very
back.
parked to have lunch.
He's
or
come
something?
back for vengeance, right? And I was like, oh no.
You at his house?
Is he gonna double book me? Like, is he come to have a stern talking to? And this time, he was sitting, boot open, sitting in his boot, like
sitting in his boot?
yeah, like feet hanging off the floor,
Like a year
sitting in
6
the boot.
kid.
Yeah,
What?
like he's just sitting there, like, as if he was waiting for us.
What a strange thing to do.
And then we both walk up, and I'm like, oh, check, no ticket again. So I get in the car and I drive home, and I'm like,
And did you say hi to him? Are you having
No.
any interactions with this bloke?
I'm trying to avoid any sort of
Okay.
communication with
Even
this
while
guy.
he's doing
And then I'm like, I get away 2 times, and I'm like, all right, well, next day comes around. I'm like, I'm gonna go again. It's working, although we're getting so close.
You're really close.
Yeah.
Surely
Like,
something's
does the
up.
printer not work?
Surely he's
Is
like,
he emailing me?
he's going like, I'm going to accumulate these tickets.
I reckon that's where we're getting.
Anyway, so then I park there, blank space, my mate's park, and then I
Why is there a blank space?
just because we don't. It's just done because there's that much room there that it would be silly for us to park right next to it. It's just like spread out, boys.
Okay.
You know, you get like a trestle
Then-
table. The boys aren't going to
because-
sit on the same side next to each other.
Okay.
Spread out. And then but then this time I walk out at the end of the
Your
day.
car's not
I
there.
walk out at the end of the day, and I've got a ticket,
Okay.
$30. And I was
Okay.
like, oof, he's got me. He's got me good. But
Well
Is he
played.
parked there?
so it's kind of like he's gone 1 strike, 2 strike, 3 strikes, you're out.
Yeah.
It's
But he's
kinda-
not there.
No, he's not there today.
Okay. So he's
He
gutless.
booked
He's a
me.
gutless
He's
bitch.
gone home,
He's a
yeah.
gutless bitch.
Yeah, he's scared of me, right? He saw the mullet and he was like, ah. Anyway, so now I've got a new strategy. So I was last year, park far away in the back of the uni. This year, front of the uni, very far left,
Yeah.
almost on the main street, like very far near the student dorms. And now that's got me as well. New strategy,
Middle.
hide in the open. Hide among the crowd.
On South Street.
So I'm going in I'm trying to find the busiest parking place, and I'm just trying to squeeze in between everyone.
Yeah.
because he's not going to check there, right?
So when
What
they
is-
check, so at Curtin, they just used to drive a car around
Yeah.
and it would
It
do
scans
number
number
plates.
plates.
Oh yeah, one guy walks around. He parks up and then walks.
Fuck, that's a big
But-
task. That no wonder
Surely
he's not
because-
getting
I've been
out.
doing this.
Well, also because at Curtin, right, everyone uses the app.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, you might forget about doing it.
Yeah.
Where at Murdoch, because everyone's got the sticker, surely like you're not getting many.
Nah.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, so I've gotten away with that for the rest of the semester though. Haven't got a ticket. Hiding among the crowd seems to work. It seems like they're too lazy to check
Well, I think
everywhere.
that everyone would have a ticket that they're like, the sticker. So it's like, why
They're
even
just
bother?
assuming,
Yeah.
they're just assuming everyone's got one.
I think that's the case. They've never had anyone run the gauntlet like this before, right? And then, but then I've been like, they haven't followed me up.
Have you paid any
no.
of these tickets?
I've got $120 I owe Murdoch Union
Oh,
tickets,
great.
right? I'm going to see how far I can get down the line once I get this graduation certificate.
Does on the thing, does it say you need to pay by a certain date?
Once I get this graduation
Of
certificate,
course it does.
this is my way of thinking. Once I get my graduation certificate, I'm out of here. I've talked to my tutors about this. I've said, boys, I've been booked 4 times.
Oh, so they're in on it.
Yeah, the boys are in on it.
It's like Ocean's 12, isn't it?
I'm like, boys, you've been around the block. You've worked here for 28 years. I'm $120 down at the cast right now.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's
So
fine.
really, you're up.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I'm up
You're
300.
up 380.
Yeah, and then I was like, if I get to graduation, get a certificate, I'm out of here. I'm never paying these fines. And then they were like, well, first of all, they might not let you graduate, and second of all, they increase over time.
Oh.
But what twist? Now I'm.
By how much?
I don't know, but then I read the fine print on the back of the tickets, and they're not wrong. Apparently, they increase over time.
Like, they're not doubling.
You've got 21 days to pay. If not, it keeps going up. And if you don't pay, a debt collector comes to your door.
What door?
I don't know, but they just said we'll be in contact
But
with
they
the
don't.
debt collector.
They don't have your.
I think Murdoch would.
Yeah, they do now because I signed up that one time. I signed up for the parking
Oh
ticket.
god. To be honest, your car's probably not worth the amount that the fees are gonna be.
So now I'm scared to check. I've got to like go into the student hub and be like, I'm down this much.
What you need to do.
But how much am I actually down?
What you
here?
need to do is sell your car
Hopefully-
before you graduate,
Oh,
Ordered it
here's-
stolen.
and then you're like,
retroactively.
and then just be like, mate, I haven't driven that
Um,
car in so long. I have no idea.
Oh, that's genius.
Because that's the only way they're gonna trace it back to you.
That's clever. That's smart. I actually haven't thought about that. But yeah, it's funny. But everyone in my cohort's in on it. All my good mates and all my teachers, they're in on me running the gauntlet.
Why didn't you pay the fine?
And we're all excited to see where this goes. Oh, because I was going to rebut them. I was going to say, because you can rebuttal. And you can say, like, why you didn't pay that day. So
Give us one.
Because you got this thing where I beat the system.
So, for example, we have a equipment returning place, which is right next to the teacher's parking where I was parking. So I was going to say, I was returning equipment that day. I was only actually
Yeah.
there for 5 minutes. You just caught me in that 5-minute window. And they'd be like, fair enough. But I didn't read the fine print saying that you have to do it within 3 weeks.
There you go. It's a
So
bit of
now,
a
so
sizzler.
now it's been like 6 months, and I don't know how much this is accumulating. But I'm excited to see come graduation, eh?
Yeah, it should be good. I would
Add it
definitely.
on my hex.
I would
You already
definitely.
have a massive hex because you're doing an art stick.
Well, we'll see.
I like it. Well, I'm excited. It's there you go. We don't often have the long game here on the MacPack podcast, but we've got one. We're gonna definitely
Yes.
be nuggeting back to.
Riley's roundup will be back, and we'll see where this tale ends up.
Oh, we love it. Winter sports or getting on the grog, you still need to take care of your favourite hog, and you can do so with Manscaped. There's nothing wrong with growing out a new coat or manly chest hair to keep you warm this winter. But it's only an issue when you grow some matching fur panties. Stop waiting the curly cues from down there. Cover up the stars of the show with Manscaped's Performance Package 4.0. Joey, you can join the 8 million men and Riley, the 6 million balls.
16.
16 million balls.
Jesus, 2 million boys have lost their tests.
16 million balls worldwide who are already using Manscaped by going to manscaped.com and using the code MacPack20 for 20% off plus free shipping. That's right, MacPack20. You get 20% off and free shipping.
Yeah, I think, it's super important. You want to be keeping it trim, keeping it slick. Just because it's winter doesn't mean you don't need to be aerodynamic.
Aerodynamic.
And now they've brought it up. They've got this platinum package.
They have the
The Manscaped
4.0.
Platinum. Yeah, and honestly, we opened our package that we got. I was shocked how much stuff there was in there.
Yeah, it actually came pouring out.
It's
I was
incredible.
blown away.
Settle.
And you'll get blown away if you start using this stuff. Funny thing about this deodorant, I'm just reading the back of it now. It actually says apply to your underarms or anywhere else. Bit cheeky.
There you go.
Saying you can use it on your testes as well, boys.
We
Use it
love-
wherever you want,
we love
wherever
that.
you sweat.
It's a safer option than doing the waxing. I know you did the testicular waxing a couple of years ago, Joe.
Yep. Pulled off a bit of scrote with that one.
But not with the Manscaped kit.
Never. Never.
They're
Reduced
beautiful.
chance of nicks.
Reduced chance of nicks.
We love a reduced chance of nicks.
And nice and comfy in the hand as well.
And like, listen to how quiet this is. I bet you won't even be able to hear it on. Barely. Not bad, eh? You can do it in private. No one has to know that you've got
You
the
can do
old
your
trim out.
privates in private.
Hey, yeah.
There you go. So you guys at home can get 20% off plus free shipping just by using the code MacPack20 at manscaped.com. That's right, 20% off plus free shipping just by using the code MacPack20 at manscaped.com. Guys, winter's coming. Make sure your boys are prepared. Alrighty, Joey's been back from Japan for a couple of weeks now.
Couple of months.
And when I say a couple of weeks, I mean like heaps and heaps of weeks.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute, and this is a story that I sort of intended to tell on my first week back, but I don't know, it just slipped my mind when I was doing my recap. So I thought I'll save it up for a rainy day,
Let it mature.
and that rainy day is now. And this story, I'm hoping that it's going to age like fine wine
Okay.
and not like a sour cheese. So, did you guys know?
This bloke's taste, honestly, that is the biggest humble brag you ever get. He's talking about wine, he's talking about cheese. Riley hasn't paid for parking in 4 years. So there's two very different sides of the spectrum sitting either side of me here.
So, do you guys know what an onsen is in Japan?
It's going to be a long second. No, I have no idea.
An onsen.
It is basically a spa. It's like a Japanese traditional spa, right?
Cool.
Which traditional. So I considered going because when in Japan,
Yeah.
do as
We
they
got to do that bum thing where they rinse your bum out with the old
bidet thing.
That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah. But the thing about the onsen is it's a nude bathing house essentially.
Oh, God.
And all of a sudden it all makes sense. Yeah.
And so I had considered going because I was like, it's culturally it's what they do.
How nude?
Completely. So you can have a modesty towel, which is basically like
Why do you have to be nude?
it's just the way they do it.
You just got to get your cock out.
It's like
Just
having a
cause.
bath. It's like going to a sauna.
You don't. I've been in saunas. I've never gone naked. Mainly because
No, but
there's
in-
five
in-
other people in there with me.
In Scandinavia, they do.
Yeah. Each to
They
their
just
own.
hang
You
schlong.
can. You can.
You
wear
should.
it.
Next time you go into the sauna with your boys, just be nude and just
Everyone.
see what the vibe is.
Oh, I'd get assaulted. I'd get
Oh.
so violated.
So I had considered going, and I kind of wanted to because it's like, it's it's a funny thing to do. It's like a good experience. But they don't really like tattoos over there because a lot of the people who are in gangs have tattoos.
How is Japan the place where you're a hard cunt? Like, honestly, go anywhere else in the world, and Joe's the fucking bloke who does like accounting. Gets to Japan, he's a biker.
So even your Mr. Bean tattoo, you'd have to.
Oh, but I am fucking hard. I'm fucking hard, man.
So I ended up deciding on not going, even though because I didn't want to. Like, you can wrap them up, but I got quite the sleeve going. It's kind of hard to wrap it up. So I decided not to, even though most of the hotels we stayed at, like, there would be a floor where they had like the spa bit, right?
Yeah.
And then, so one of the hotels we stayed at,
Were you afraid that you were going to offend someone?
for having tattoos.
Yeah.
No, it's like the rules.
You're not allowed to have tattoos.
You're not allowed to go in with tattoos.
Oh,
Yeah. Some of them have, you can
right.
put like,
That seems awfully strict in 2023.
What's wrong with tats? Oh yeah, you said.
the gang people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, you can still be in a gang.
Uh-huh.
My thing would be that they're going to assume that you're a badass.
Yeah, they just don't. It's like a cultural thing. They just don't like it.
Okay.
It's like bikey patches on
Yeah.
jackets now.
It would be like if you're like, oh, I'm gonna go have a relaxing spa day, and then some guys there with full face tats and like
It's not relaxing.
Like,
It's
yeah,
off brand.
You're like worried about this guy there.
Especially because your cock's out.
I think you're overestimating how. Yeah, I'm pretty tough, man. I'd probably take him.
So anyway, I decided not going, and then although one of the places we stayed at, they had a spa bed and they also had a laundry there, right? So I went down to do a bit of laundry because we were there for quite a long trip. So I was doing a bit of laundry, and firstly, I never really used this coin operated thing, right?
Yeah, why doesn't that surprise me?
And also, they only took larger denominations of coins. You couldn't put in your small ones and go up. You had to it's not taking 5-cent coins or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm looking for. I have my little money bag thing.
Yeah, purse.
Yeah, my purse.
Purse is the word you're searching.
So I had done the washing, but now I need to put it in the dryer, which also costs extra money. So I was taking, and I had I was running the whites and the blacks, the colors and the whites, because that's how you meant to do laundry, apparently. So I had 2 laundry things going, and then there was one in the middle that I wasn't using.
Why didn't you? Okay, yeah.
That's where the
Because I
parking
only needed
inspector
2.
was.
So, and then so I had those 2 going, and then I was moving stuff into the dryer. So
But it seems like you're taking up a lot of space.
yeah, well, I was the
It's
only
a
person.
public place, yeah? You're making...
I was,
piss on a wall just so no one would use that one, just in case I wanted to come back.
I was the only person in there, right? At this point.
Yeah.
And then so I sort of tipped my
Because you got
coins.
tats, everyone's scared to go in there.
everyone cleared out. Anyway, so then I tipped my coins out. Because I need to
Like a man.
find out of my purse to find ones that I needed, right? And then so the spa is next to me, and then this dude comes out, an older gentleman,
Yeah.
and he came out and he was like, I don't know exactly what he's doing. I guess he wanted to put some stuff in the laundry, but I was taking
I would imagine
all the
so.
machines because I had my coins in one and my clothes in the other. Anyway, so that guy's there, and he didn't speak any English, and he was oh, what's going on? And I look over, and then I was like, oh, and I was like, oh, I'm pointing at things I'm going into the dryer, and I'm these are my coins kind of thing, and then I realized that he's hanging strong.
How long have you been talking to him before you realised his cock was touching your leg?
I assumed he had a towel. And then
Hang on, so you had a conversation with this man?
not a conversation,
You
a
go
couple
halfway
words,
through.
and I spoke to him, and then I looked, and then my eyes panned down.
That's got...
That
Surely
is
not.
If you did that in Australia, he would go to jail.
Yeah, and then I was like, oh, sorry, I'm, put myself there.
Don't you apologise for him having his cock out.
And then it was just standing there. And I was
fully, just no shame.
I think then at some point he
Realised?
realized that I was he's oh, this guy's fucking.
Were you wearing your clothes?
Huh? Yeah, of course. Yeah, I was fully clothed.
Okay.
Although I was in the cool little
How you should be.
There we go.
Slippers.
shower type slippers because of the.
But you're wearing... You're not just in slippers.
No, I was wearing clothes. But yeah, and then
Good man.
I ended up. I was like, oh shit, and now I'm
But did he see you make eye contact with him and then?
And
with
then
him?
he's-
probably because then he did have a little because I think they have a towel thing that they do a bit of almost when you're in the shower you have a loafer type thing
Yeah.
you're rubbing with that.
Yeah.
So then at that point he was holding it in front of his junk.
Why would?
So he had the towel with him when you started chatting.
Yeah,
And he's
but he had
completely...
it over his shoulder.
Hands on hips.
He's completely naked.
Completely
I feel
naked.
like that would be
Well,
the
I'm the
first
only
thing
one-
I would notice before I've spoken to someone. If I realize someone's completely naked, I'm realizing that before I'm telling him what I'm doing.
Yeah, for sure.
And then I was oh, he's naked, and he's right there, and he's waiting for me so he can put his stuff in the laundry or whatever. So then I'm panically grabbing my stuff, and he's just standing
Do
there.
you want these shorts?
And then I ended up putting in, and then I got all my coins out. So I'm I gotta which one is the right one to get? And then I'm
And he's just
You know,
coming
when you
closer
try
and
and-
closer.
because he wants to put his stuff in this one.
How's he going to do it? Where's his coins? Where's he storing his coins?
Yeah, where's
That's my
I-
It's
question.
his bag of clothes. Why doesn't he put something on, dude?
What's he getting? What's he washing? He's got no clothes
Yeah.
with him.
Just
there
a
was a
little
locker
towelette.
system.
Is what?
There was like a locker system.
Yeah. He was overusing the locker.
But yeah, it was. And then another thing, this laundry section, right? So there's like the shower house, the bathhouse section, which I didn't go into because I'm not allowed.
Because of the tats.
It's a bit tough. But then this section here, there's like a door that goes out into like the hallway, which has a bit of like material, kind of, and not a lot.
But more than he's currently got on.
Yeah. But yeah, I just, wasn't expecting to see that.
Did you watch him put clothes on? Or could
I
he,
was out of there once my dryer was gone.
How was it?
what, the schlong?
Yeah.
Right, we're
schlong.
getting into this.
Was he fair enough to be doing that?
Huh?
Wow, what a combo.
I don't really know if I want to comment on that.
I think he
My
would
question
comment
is,
on it.
how is it more offensive for you to have tats than it is for him to walk around with his fucking
Yeah.
G-bang around?
Hey, it's different cultures like different things.
Apparently so. It's it's intriguing stuff. I find it hard to imagine something like that happening and me not talking about it for a few months as well. Like, that would be the first thing I would tell.
He had to debrief it with his therapist first.
Yes.
It is interesting because there are. I think the whole onsen like nude bathing house thing. I think it's definitely something that's like more traditional. It's like I don't think like the lads would really be going. It's like more like
The older.
similarly to how like you go to the public pool and the old dudes are just like
Yeah.
sagging everywhere, you know.
Oh,
Yeah.
So I don't know if you just reach a point like in your age where you're like,
Doesn't
you
matter.
know, I like
Past
the
the
feel
point.
of warm water on my.
I like the feeling of making a tourist feel incredibly uncomfortable while he washes his clothes. Alrighty, boys, that just about brings us to the end of an episode of the MacPack podcast. But before we finish up, we always have to do our favourite weekly segment. In fact, it's our only weekly segment. It's time for our Everyday Hero. Joe, take it away.
Yes. So this hero, let me just say.
Firstly, quick congratulations on having a hero, just quietly. This is episode 145, and I think it's your fifth, so congratulations.
I do plenty of heroes.
I'm bringing a hero to the table.
When was the last time you did a hero?
Here we go. Looking back through the book.
I'm gonna
Is
tell
it
you.
worth the time for the gag?
Hero
The
traffic
question-
143, a fortnight ago.
A traffic hero. I didn't realize we was counting them. The real ones.
Saw one on the way home from work today. I'll bring it in a couple of weeks.
Nice, exciting. No, this one goes out to, and again, this is not a corporate sponsor, but this is a McDonald's hero.
Oh,
Right, happy for them to be corporate sponsors if they wanna.
of course.
If this goes well,
Yes. Let's hope it goes well.
we're not off to the greatest start.
Yeah, and firstly, I'm gonna digress a little bit.
Oh, good.
I'm gonna take a little pot shot at good old Hungry Jack's.
Oh,
That's right.
alrighty.
Oh,
I'm
we've
taking
lost
that.
one. We've got
There
one.
you go.
Apparently, opportunistic.
It's interesting because at McDonald's I can't really eat anything
I
because
knew it was going here.
they have no veggie options.
Yeah,
Hungry Jack's has the famous Rebel Whopper, my beloved burger. That's my
And you
go-to
like
burger.
it?
Yeah, it's really good.
I've never had one.
I've tried.
Good?
Fucking revolting.
Okay,
No,
good.
it's really good.
Horrendous.
But and I used to like going to occasionally I'll get breakfast from a Hungry Jack's or McDonald's.
Nice.
Right, what do you go
It's a
with?
classic
Okay.
meal.
Well,
They're good, hey?
I get bacon egg McMuffin
Without the egg.
without bacon.
So just an egg roll.
Egg McMuffin, yeah.
Ew.
Okay.
It's quite good.
That egg's hardly egg.
I get it the other way around, but I get it no egg.
Between you have a burger.
Yeah, but so I like going there. It's good because you got egg, protein, muffins, fine.
What's better if you're gonna have a bacon and egg? Because you get them from both joints, yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
We-
Macca's.
Macca's is better. I
Okay.
think so, yeah. But I like going to the Hungry
The
Jack's.
sponsorship deal is going real well.
I like going to the Hungry Jack's one because it was like on the way to where I drive to work anyway.
Okay.
So I'd go there.
Home.
No, this is when I.
Your bed.
This is if I go from Kira's house, and if there's not, like if she doesn't have eggs and stuff for me to have in the morning.
So you got chickens.
Yeah, but they haven't been laying lately. Oh, also one of them died since we spoke about him.
Oh.
Vale the chickens.
Shout out Pearl, which is my favorite.
Well,
Anyway,
the favorite girl.
Rip pill.
so I used to go to Hungry Jack's, get my egg McMuffins. Right, I go there. They've changed the bread to Turkish bread.
Oh, I've seen that. I'm excited.
They don't do.
Oh, like muffin top bread.
They don't do a muffin.
I
No,
don't think they changed. Didn't they just have the option?
No, they've stopped doing
I don't think they do the other one.
Huge. That's at H days.
Yeah.
Massive.
Although I've never tried that one because the day that they switched, I drove in and I saw they had the Turkish bread and I was like, what the fuck are they doing? Why would they change it? Like literally, no one had a problem with the muffin.
It does seem like a weird thing to change it to.
The Turkish roll.
Don't you
Yeah.
Who
think?
doesn't like
Like the McMuffin is the breakfast bun.
Yeah.
And you've revoked the breakfast
It's
bun.
almost like going, all
For
right,
an
we're
exotic
going to do quarter pounders, but instead of doing them with normal buns, we're doing them with banana bread. So get them ready. Let's go.
So I go in and I order my 2 bacon egg McMuffins with no bacon. But
Mhm.
obviously they're not
Are you getting a discount on any of this?
McMuffins.
Nah.
No, because that's another thing. When you take stuff away, it's...
Yeah, you should be able to substitute. You should, if you don't want egg, you should be able to get double bacon. If you don't want bacon, you should be able to get double egg. Hot take.
That's huge.
So I
like
get
it.
this. I'm like, oh bloody hell! They've switched the muffin to the Turkish bread. What the hell is this? I get up there and then she hands it to me. So I go and I park to eat it in my car, right? And at this point, I see they've actually fucked me over twice because they've given me Turkish bread with bacon in it, no egg.
I would have loved this.
So you've done done the
firstly-
opposite. You've gone and they've just gone, fuck this.
Firstly,
bloke.
the muffin, my favorite type of bread.
Gone.
It's great. They've changed it. They've never also given me something that I vowed never to eat again.
And how was it?
Put it back.
Huh? No, I didn't eat it.
So you went back in there?
I was in the
Huh?
car behind him
Nah.
with double eggs.
There was quite a line of cars and stuff,
Oh no.
and I was like annoyed at them, and I was like, "Nah, fuck it, I'm never getting breakfast from Hungry Jack's again." And I
Oh.
drove to Macca's.
You didn't go inside to get a refund.
Huh?
Oh, hammer it. You didn't get a refund. You had breakfast. They give you the wrong thing.
Cost
No,
price
because-
for
because
McMuffins,
the
though.
thing is,
very
I
high.
didn't really want the Turkish bread anyway. I was already annoyed
But
about
get
the
your money
Turkish
back.
bread.
Get your damn money
How
back.
much down are you?
Huh? It was
That would
like,
be like $15.
I've got a
Huh?
bloke who needs a few parking fines paid.
no, it was like
I
10
reckon I
bucks.
found the man.
It's like
$10
$10 for 2 things.
Did you get hash browns? A drink?
No, I didn't get hash browns.
So you just go
I
there
got a coffee, but I could still drink the coffee. They didn't. I don't think they put bacon in.
knowing
You
them.
can never be sure.
Knowing them.
So then I drive over to.
What are you doing with the bacon burgers?
Well, at this point there wasn't a bin, so they're just riding shotgun. I got.
You should have swung past home. I would have been blessed.
I'm not driving all the way home and then going to work.
Well,
So anyway, I end up going
Probably
to.
still in his car. Have you seen his car? They're probably still in his
No, I
car.
threw 'em out.
They're in
I
the
threw 'em
fridge.
out. I tossed them out of the window. Driving down. Anyway, so then I go to the McDonald's. There's a McDonald's near work, which I don't know why it never really occurred to me to go to this one. But I went there and I ordered. I was like, "Can I get 2 bacon egg muffins with no bacon?" Right? I was like, "No bacon."
And they
And
go,
then-
why? When you go, I've already got the bacon in. It's here.
And then she goes, and this is I get this. This is my go-to breakfast order any place because like that's what the menu item is called, right?
yeah.
And then she goes, "Oh, you want like a muffin with egg and cheese?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then she deletes the bacon and egg muffin from the thing
We
and
love
adds
that.
on muffin, egg and cheese. It's cheaper.
Oh, so she's just built your own burger.
Yeah, and it's cheaper. It's like if you were like,
So this
oh,
is exactly what I said. When you get something removed,
It's not.
it's not cheaper.
yeah,
but it
she's
is.
built it out and it's cheaper. Even though
Jesus.
every
So
single time I've been to one of these establishments to
The
get a
hungrier
breakfast,
guys.
or even if I've gone to McDonald's at another time,
Right.
I always get get a bacon egg muffin with no bacon.
But
and
what
none
should
of them-
what should you be asking for?
It's
like Subway.
with egg and cheese.
Huge.
But they're not giving you a muffin.
A McMuffin.
Yeah, McMuffin.
Yeah, okay.
So this chick,
Wow.
So she's the hero because she's standing up for the little
little
guy
guy.
who doesn't understand the intricacies of the McDonald's breakfast menu.
she almost
and
like,
this customizable.
yeah. So she's saved you in that regard, and she's also been like, I'll kind of shout you for the HJ's waist.
Yeah,
as
Yeah.
and now Now I think about.
Did you give her the HJ's burgers as a
You should
as
have.
a out of the kindness
No,
of your
I
heart?
kind of hid them actually because I was like,
Oh
You
my
hid them?
God.
well, because they were in the passenger seat. I think I might have put them in the back because I was like,
Oh my.
I was like,
She's not gonna think you're cheating on her.
no, I was like,
With
they're
Hayes.
gonna
Hey,
be
man.
Like, actually, I'm gonna give you the bacon and egg minus eight. Minus
No,
eight.
like-
What's that next to you, man? What's that next to you?
I just felt that like it's kind of like, why are you here? Like, why did you go to Hungry Jack's and then come here? I just thought they think I was weird.
So you hid the.
She didn't really look in my car that much.
They don't often.
Too busy.
But yeah, she say, and not only did she save me money then, every time I go there now, I'm gonna be saving 40 cents.
Which will
But you
eventually
paid-
pay it back.
But you paid $10 for two burgers
Yeah.
that offended you.
So
Yeah.
eventually you'll be in the
So when I
grave.
have my 50th, you know,
I'm in the clear.
I'm in the
And it
in
never
the
would have
black.
happened hadn't HJ's given you the right
Yeah.
burger.
So you've never
Right,
been back to
right.
Hungry Jack's?
Well, obviously I'll get the red waffle. But
Yeah,
maybe not
okay.
from that one. They really annoyed me.
Which one was it? Do we want to shout out the
It was
location?
the one on the one on South.
Can you
Street.
just imagine Joe parked up in his car just like
I was like, what the fuck is this?
At what point did you realise? Had you taken a bite?
No, I opened it up and it
Did
was
we
like,
lose the streak? Did Joe accidentally have a bite of bacon?
No, I opened it up and it was like
so thin?
so thin. I
Yeah,
was like,
that's how I
they
felt.
must have, this egg must be long ass because it's not deep.
Speaking of long ass, do you remember that guy from the previous story? Alrighty, boys, that brings us to the end of another episode of the MacPack podcast. Joey?
And if you guys, if any of you work at Macca's or like know people in the sponsorship team, I was thinking I could be like, you know how there's like the hamburger and stuff like that?
Oh, you want to be that guy?
I could be the like
the tatted up guy.
muffin, egg and cheese gurgler guy.
Yeah, I don't know if they're looking for anyone.
I could be the mascot for the egg McMuffin.
Was there any Macca's? Was there any McDonald's is international?
Yep.
They often have different menus.
Yep.
When you're in like, let's say Japan.
Yeah, they did have a different menu.
What was it? Anything
I
fun?
couldn't eat anything on it. They had like avocado, like a lot of avocado for some reason.
You can eat that.
Yeah, on other shit that I can't eat.
Did they have egg?
Egg. I think they did have egg.
So you could have something.
What was the weirdest thing you saw on a Macca's menu?
I don't know. I just looked at it. I was like, oh,
Avocado is
everything's
pretty
got meat.
fucking
And I
weird.
walked up.
But what sort of meat? Is it just like normal meat we eat? Don't fuck them up. Mate, they're putting fucking avocado in shit.
Why have they got avocado on a quarter pounder?
I don't know. I didn't eat it, but they had.
Avocado pounder. That didn't even deserve that.
Yeah, it was a fake.
They had Japan Macca's was pretty like similar to ours, just like a bit different.
No shit.
Um,
That's kind of what we're getting.
the
at.
India one was like completely different because they don't eat beef.
Oh.
So what do they have instead?
Tons of veggie stuff and like chicken
Oh.
and fish.
And did you eat much?
Huh? I fucking told it on the I had the veggie Big Mac. It was decent.
Which is something they don't do here.
An avocado.
No, they don't.
We're a meat eating country.
Yeah.
That's what we do here.
You're a meat eating panel.
Yeah, also had a lot of egg salad sandwiches from 7-Eleven over in Japan.
Oh, they got 7-Eleven.
Yeah, tons. And they have like, you can buy like proper like food from them. And it's like cheap. It's like,
Opposed to
like, you know, like if you went to the servo here, right?
No, you're getting chips and ice.
And would you buy anything that has fish in it? No, because you die. Right? But they have like sushi and stuff, like from 7-Eleven, and people actually eat it. So I was woofing down these egg salad sandwiches. I was like, man, like I actually didn't really eat egg salad sandwiches that much before.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, that is my worst.
No,
nightmare.
dude, they actually slap.
I would rather die than eat an egg salad sandwich.
Oh my god.
Good. Another great thing they had, you guys will hate this, they have tofu bars. So basically, it's a bar of tofu, but it's got like kelp flavor. Oh, great source of protein. Kelp, like seaweed.
Oh,
What is your life?
Nah, it was actually really yum.
that's bad.
You're eating. You
Good
went
source of protein, easy to eat, and cheap as chips.
Yeah, cheap. Demand isn't high.
Yeah.
Understand how
Yeah,
the
actually,
divide-
I didn't see anyone else eating the tofu bars, and I was loving them.
I don't even think
They
that
didn't
was
even have that
flavoured
much tofu
seaweed.
over there. I was really surprised.
Why is that? Are they eat tofu guys?
Apparently not. They got the bars, and they have, but like they just have fucking fish and everything.
fish.
They love fish. And I love
don't
tofu
think
bar.
you can say that.
They do.
I think we're circling back to the start of the episode with the racial gear. Now we love it, Joey.
Good on you, Joe.
We love that you love fish and avocado and all sorts of
And actually, the tofu bar, it was kind of a good reference size as well.
So, old mate.
Yeah, now that I think about it.
One tofu bar size.
Yeah.
Are you sure it was his stick? It might have just been
Yeah, a bucket a bit of a bar tofu bar. Alright, let's wrap the episode.
a lot to unpack, boys, until we do this. This time next week, stay safe, stay blessed, and always remember to
Go give your mum a hug.
It's Chuff now. Bye not forever.